specifically like what painters would be considered that. Barnett Newman considered a artist painter, Harry?
I thought he was more abstract expression.
I guess he was abstract expressionist, yeah.
How do you feel about the word kitsch?
Kitsch, I don't know, kitsch, I don't know, I think like, hearing that word, I think of it as being something kind of, I don't really like using that word very much. Yeah, I think it was kind of derogatory. Yeah, I don't think it's very like...
Or do you think that like, just the people around you are making that, so it's like, it's not even something that I feel like you would even reference?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think of kitsch as being something that's more like referenced in pop culture specifically, which I mean, art becomes a part of that too, but I think the kitsch, at least in the way that I think most people use it, is kind of more like this hollow thing, generally. And there are people I know that their art, like, that I don't dislike their art, that's, yeah, maybe I could call it kitsch, or it's like working with like ideas of kitsch.
Yeah.
I remember like that kid Ian, or not.
Oh yeah,
It's like a kind of kitsch.
Yeah, that's
yeah, but he made like this kind of work that was like...
It's like very referential to... It's
just sort of like post like rap culture.
Yeah.
Like whatever it is now, kind of like money signs in general, bright colors, like shitty shit, but like mixed with like blingy shit.
I think it's funny because kitsch is about like universally transmitted ideas. Like it's like a postcard. It's like the rainbow over the horizon. Like it's supposed to be this thing that's like connects to everybody, but it's sort of derogatory because it's like if you're trying to connect to everybody, it's not as good as just like this more pure, unique thing.
Yeah, totally. Kitsch in the sense that it's just sort of this thing that's like echoing like this past experience, application of like this aesthetic, and just kind of like rehashing it. Sort of just bare and like stripped down to essentials, you could say. That aesthetic becomes kitsch.
well, if that aesthetic is like mass-produced all of a sudden, and then it could become it.
I mean, in the case of IKEA, it's like all, it's all sort of modern.
That's like furniture. The new kitsch.
Like,
back home who collects Big Eye prints, Big Eye kid prints, which was like this art thing, like white mass art thing that was going on that it's easily accessible on like eBay and stuff. And she had a bunch of them framed on her wall and like tiki furniture and like old school furniture that's like weird colors, like weird materials. So I think it can work in a certain context. It needs to be done correctly though. There's certainly ways to do kitsch wrong. I think if you're doing different types of kitsch, like different eras, and they're like not mixing well, or you're doing too much, or either not enough, I just think it has to be done very specifically to work.
So it has to be like aware of its kitsch.
You have to know what you're doing. You can't just buy something and then later someone tell you that it's kitsch, because then you're not doing it right.
That happened to me with my apartment.
I think camp is similar to kitsch.
Camp is a derivative of kitsch. It's like a genre of it. Except it's just the same thing. It's like
kitsch is the opposite
more like
of what I've like dedicated my life to, which is these one-of-a-kind, beautiful items. You know, like one-of-a-kind handmade things. So he found like this romanticism in these like really well-made objects. And her dad is a collector. And a collector in a sense of like pretty much anything antique, something that was made really well during the post-war. Like, there was a time when like everything was still being made in the U.S. Pearls and, you know, full skirts and vacuuming, and at the same time things were being made well so that they could last you. It was a good object. Because of this like standard of living, that's why we need to make more of it. That's why we need to make more of it. And in doing that, you're kind of creating a lesser value of something. Beautiful, real silver was being made, and he was showing us these like hammer marks. He knew when sterling silver was started production, so he knew that since this thing was made in like 18-something, he knew the real value of it. And we were like, yeah, those are hammer marks. Like we actually know how that was made. And it really like sparked his interest that we as young people knew how these really like old objects, we knew their value of it. Later he was driving me to the train station, and he was like, so does everyone that you guys hang out with, do you all know how stuff is made? Like, does everybody like that? Or is everyone your age doing that? And my friend Rachel and I were like, no, we just, like, we both kind of like collectively knew that because we come from a craft school and that we've been like totally immersed in like originally made designs, handcrafted objects, that like that we surround ourselves with other people who have like this knowledge and this like joy of these like one of a kind, well crafted, knowledge of the material, like those kind of items. They know exactly where they're gonna go. You know, it's for someone, it's for use, not for like mass commodity, which I think is kitsch. The masses.